What is it in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince that makes you feel like somebody under the age of 14 can't handle it?
You see, it's not so much about that, Ruvi, as it is that I think that we should create occasions with our children, or we will find that we seldom have them. And so in this world where we're just binge watching everything and we go from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, have things be special. Where like once a year we're going to watch this, and then next year we'll watch the next one and the next one, and make a huge deal out of it, and it'll be something that they remember, an occasion. Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Bearded Blevins.
I am Katie, Mrs. Ruby.
And today we're going to do part 2 of You're a Wizard, Harry.
Is that the only line you remember from the movie?
No, I know this one too. Not me, not Hermione, you. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Everyone remembers that.
Well, it's Leviosa.
Not Leviosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
We, if you haven't watched our review of Is This for Kids, Harry Potter 1 and 2, please go do that. Welcome to Harry Potter's 3 through 7.
Yeah.
Really, it's 3 through 8 because of the movies. There's 2 at the end.
There's 2 at the end, yeah. So book 7 broken into 2 movies. Harry Potter and the Very Long Camping Trip, and Harry Potter and the Battle of Hogwarts, which is what they should have named those 2 movies.
Wow, that's actually really funny.
Harry Potter and the Very Long Camping Trip.
I think they could have named the movies like so.
Okay.
Harry Potter for kids. Harry Potter, slightly less for kids. Harry Potter and the First Murder. Harry Potter and the 2 murders. Harry Potter and the 4 murders.
Harry
and
Potter
it just gets
and
worse.
you're going to see a dead body in this one.
Harry Potter possessed. I mean,
it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, it's just, that's kind of my main point.
Harry Potter, and it's not cannibalism because it's a snake eating a person, but it's still gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. We broke out the movies, the 3rd and through 8th, as a separate thing because it felt like that was the natural breakdown, right?
Yeah. It's the natural breakdown, at least for me, from what I remember, because it's been a long time since I've read 3 through 7, but I just read 1 and 2 to my kids. Mm-hmm. But after talking to my brother, who's super nerdy into all this stuff, he was like, it gets way darker. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I remember the movies doing that too. Mm-hmm. I Googled some things before watching these again, and I was like, yeah, we're just going to stop after 2. Mm-hmm. And when they're older, we'll read 3 again and get back into it. And so we moved on to Lord of the Rings. But basically, in my experience, 3 just gets darker than 2 was. 4 takes the next step forward, where there's a death in the field. Spoiler alert. 5. I mean, it just continues every single as it makes sense. As they get older, things get darker.
Yep.
Evil is more prevalent, and there's killing curses, there's possession, there's all kinds of things that kind of it goes and goes and goes until the end.
Yeah. So what you're saying, like basically just go up a year every time. Is that what you're thinking?
I forget what it was that we were talking about once, but we had talked about something similar.
It was Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World,
season,
yes!
Yeah.
And how you should just watch it the way it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And you disagreed with me.
I think you can binge watch Boy Meets World. I think you're fine.
Well, that's just because that was a whole parenting difference.
Yeah.
But like with this, you're kind of with me. Like just let this evolve as if it were coming out brand new again when we were younger. And so you start at whatever age, call it 9, and then every year you just go up a year until you've watched all the movies, and then you can have an experience about waiting. You know what I mean, Ruby? We just want everything now.
I'm not going to agree with you on that. We're very different parents. Our parenting is very different because if you start at 9. First of all, I said that the first ones were good at 7 and 8, but 7-ish. So
I said 8 or 9.
Okay, so like let's say you start with my thing and you say 7. These are 8 movies. That means that your kid is going to be 15 years old.
Yeah, you're still watching movies with your kids. That's great.
By the time they're watching the last movie, 16 actually for the 8th movie. So, I mean, yes, you can watch it with a 16-year-old. I don't think you need to wait till they're 16 to watch Harry Potter Part 8.
You can probably do 14, but it'd be really fun if you do that. Have something to look forward to every year. Every year we do this.
What is it in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince that makes you feel like somebody under the age of 14 can't handle it?
You see, it's not so much about that, Ruvi, as it is that I think that we should create occasions with our children, or we will find that we seldom have them. And so in this world where we're just binge watching everything and we go from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, have things be special. where like once a year we're gonna watch this, and then next year we'll watch the next one and the next one, and make a huge deal out of it, and it'll be something that they remember, an occasion
But let's pretend
they otherwise wouldn't have.
Let's pretend that someone were to make a podcast where the point of the podcast was to tell parents at what age a movie is appropriate for their child to consume.
Okay, that's a
if you were
stretch,
on-
but I'm
if you
following
were
you.
on that
That's a
podcast-
stretch, but I will pretend like I'm on that podcast. Sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were on that podcast, what
Yeah.
age would you say is appropriate for the upper Harry Potter echelons?
I'm gonna go with 14 years old.
Wow.
13.
So what is it
7th grade.
in Harry Potter and
You're
the
a wizard,
Half-Blood
Harry.
Prince that makes you feel like a 12-year-old wouldn't be able to handle it? Keeping in mind that in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry himself is 14.
Right, which is why I'm saying 13, 14. Perfect. Be
okay.
the same age as the main
So
character. Simple as.
In the Order of the Phoenix,
Yeah.
when Harry
Let's
himself
focus
is
on the
13.
Deathly Hallows.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, no, but let me just be me. I'll just be me. That's all I
You
can
do
be.
you.
Okay?
You
And
do
this
you, baby boy.
stupid hypothetical situation where this
Sure.
lame podcast exists and I have to be on it.
Who would watch that?
I would say like when these movies came out, let's do a quick Google search. Shall we?
Yeah.
Do you have them memorized
I
already?
think it's 2001 for the first one.
So the latest Harry Potter came out 2010, 2011, starting in 2001.
That's what I said. The first one came out in 2001.
Oh, well done. So I in 2011. I'm really, really bad at math.
I know.
So I was 6 years past high school, so I was like 23 years old, ish, when the last one came out. I was scared.
Okay.
I was scared.
You were scared?
I was
of
23 years old. I was scared. It was
Really?
scary. Yeah, it was a little scary. I wasn't like I didn't sleep at night, but like you're kind of like it's kind of creepy. So for me, we'll just delay it a little. 14. If you think it's 13, go 14.
Do you think that like kids can't handle being scared at all?
No, they can.
Even if it's like a momentary scare?
No, there's a lot more moments
It's true.
in Harry Potter. You know what I mean?
True.
I mean, the Dementors are pretty scary.
They are.
Harry possessed is pretty creepy.
That's like literally an eighth of a second.
It's longer in the books.
Okay, but we're not talking about the books.
I know, but it's hard to separate the two.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to get you one of those collars.
My
Keep you
final
on
answer
topic.
though, like I would say, 3 is probably fine for like 10,
Mm-hmm.
but I think like 4 and up is probably like 13, 14. I stand by that. Yeah, there's murder. They're killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's possession happening. There's death curses.
Sure. We are very different human beings. And so I would
Which
say
is what makes this work.
that's what makes it so wonderful. It's so good. And I respect you, and you have beautiful, wonderful, kind-hearted, sweet children.
You're dang right.
And my totally bad A children who just walk through life being awesome. I think that it would be fine for anybody over the age of 10. So starting at 10, I think you could watch absolutely any of them and be perfectly fine. If your kid is scared, turn it off. But for the most part, it'll be a momentary scare. They learn lots of things about love and self-sacrifice and all these great things that are there for them, and a little bit about treating people poorly on the basis of their birth. Like it's sort of like a racism story. That's a good question in there to have with kids. And I think it's appropriate for anybody 10 and up. So there you go.
So there's not that big of a difference. If you think about it, you're saying 8 or 9 for the first 2, and then 10 and up for the rest. And I'm saying 8 or 9 for the first 2, and then 10
I said
for the
7
next
or 8
couple.
for the first 2.
That's still not that big of a difference.
Okay.
And then 13 to 10 is, you know what I mean?
I mean, you're basically
You know what
saying
I mean?
a child needs to go through puberty before they
No,
can see
so I
Harry
think
Potter.
maybe some context here, and I'm glad you're pushing back a little, because I think the context is important. Like, I think there's so much content out there that I would show my kids before Harry Potter by the time they were 10 or 11. Like, I haven't even watched Looney Tunes yet with them. And not because I'm hiding it from them. I'm just like, I want to watch it with them, and I don't have a lot of time to watch. Like, when I play with my kids, they're not usually watching stuff yet. So, like, when I'm ready, I've got a litany of things I can't wait to watch with my kids, and Harry Potter will be there when they're 13.
I mean, Looney Tunes is boring and incredibly racist.
Whoa,
but sure.
whoa. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay?
Okay.
There are
And-
great things about Looney Tunes. You learn all sorts of things.
Like how to get hit in the head with an anvil.
Yes, and why it's
Absolutely.
not the right solution.
It's never the right solution.
Foghorn Leghorn teaches grammar well.
You could definitely run off that cliff and it wouldn't fall until you looked down.
I'll learn you the game, son. Now, boy.
Oh, dear.
Now,
Anywho.
boy, I said boy.
Anywho,
Harry
there
Potter.
you go. Harry Potter. I say that you're good 10 and up. You're saying 13, 14. Yeah. Well, there you go. Depending on what kind of parent you are, pick a range, enjoy it, have fun with your kids.
Yeah, if you want to spend time with your kids when they're older, watch it later.
Yeah, because there definitely won't be any new content to watch with your kids by the time they're in.
We have to review it first, Ruby.
I know, that's true.
Is this for kids?
I know. Hey, if they wanted more things, more content, more questions, maybe they want to talk about like a parenting topic instead of a media topic. Where could they find that?
They can go to isthisforkids.com. And if they really want to dive into the really fun things that we have, they can go to patreon.com/isthisforkids.
Hey, you know,
And become patrons.
Yeah. There's just so much content out there in the world that you have to navigate.
So much more that you can watch before you watch Harry Potter. I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, Mrs. Ruby. Let us help you decide.
Is this for kids?